India's tier 1 cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, Kolkata, Hyderabad are economic engines that collectively contribute a massive share of India's GDP. Mumbai alone contributes nearly 6% of India's GDP. Delhi contributes around 4.9%. Bangalore accounts for nearly 38% of India's IT exports, driven by companies like Infosys, Wipro, TCS, IBM, and Accenture. Hyderabad's Genome Valley, the country's largest biotech cluster, hosts more than 200 life science companies such as Novartis, Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, and Bharat Biotech. Chennai manufactures one third of India's automobiles with plants from Hyundai, Nissan, and BMW. Kolkata remains India's key logistics and financial service hub for East and Northeast. These cities fuel employment, innovation, foreign investment, and global competitiveness. But despite this economic power, their livability is declining. Rising air pollution, extreme heat, water shortages, overcrowding, traffic paralysis, and shrinking natural ecosystem threats the future of urban India. But behind the growth and opportunity, India's tier 1 cities are facing a serious reality. The systems that keep these cities running are under stress, and in many places they are breaking down. Let's look at the major problems that are happening right now on the ground. First one is air pollution and extreme heat. Recent studies reveal alarming levels of pollution. Delhi's PM 2.5 levels commonly exceeds 300 microgram per cubic meters in winter, far above the WHO safe limit of 15. Mumbai's winter PM 10 levels recorded at 131 micrograms per cubic meter caused by construction dust, vehicular pollution, and coastal wind patterns. Bangalore's air pollution increased by 32% from 2020 to 2023. Extreme heat is another crisis. Delhi recorded 52.9% in May 2024, the highest temperature ever measured in India. Urban heat island analysis from NASA show Bangalore's surface temperature are 3 to 5 degrees Celsius higher than surrounding rural areas. Chennai and Hyderabad recorded some of the highest nighttime temperatures in South Asia in recent summers. Second problem is water scarcity. Chennai hit day zero in 2019 when its main reservoirs Pundi and Cholavaram, Red Hills, and Chembaram dried up. Bangalore has lost 85% of its lakes and over 90% of the remaining water bodies are polluted. Delhi's Yamuna is India's most polluted river segment with biochemical oxygen demand levels reaching 56 microgram per liter, far above the acceptable limit of 3. Third problem is urban flooding. Despite water scarcity, flooding is also a routine. Mumbai's 2023 monsoon saw roads flooded with just 30 to 50 mm of rainfall due to encroached drains and high tide locking. Bangalore's tech corridor flooded in 2022, causing losses estimated at 225 crore to IT companies like Google, Intel, and Goldman Sachs after only 2 days of rain. Delhi's 2023 Yamuna flood reached 208.66 meters, the highest point in 45 years. Fourth problem is traffic congestion. According to the TomTom Traffic Index, Indian metro cities are now among the most congested cities in the world. Bangalore ranks as the second most congested city globally, followed by Delhi at 4th and Mumbai at 6th. Situation on the ground reflect these numbers. During rush hour, average travel speed in central Bangalore falls to just 18 km per hour, and in Mumbai's busy areas like Andheri and Bandra, it can drop even further to 11 to 12 km per hour. Fifth problem is housing crisis. Mumbai is the 18th most expensive city in the whole world for rent. Over 40% of Mumbai's population lives in informal settlements, including Asia's largest Dhara. Bangalore has a shortage of over 3.2 lakh affordable housing units. Delhi NCR has over 4.8 lakh stalled housing units, leaving both buyers and developers stuck. Sixth problem is loss of green cover and biodiversity. Delhi lost over 1,100 hectares of forest cover between 2001 to 2023. Bangalore lost 79% of its vegetation from 1973 to 2016. Chennai lost 62% of its wetlands in the same period. The loss of green cover isn't just about fewer trees, it means rising heat, reduced groundwater recharge, and increasing pollution. The situation we see today is not accidental, it is the outcome of the poor planning, weak coordination, and short term thinking over many years. To understand the crisis in our cities, we need to look at the root causes behind the cure. India is urbanizing very fast, and the urban population has now crossed 50 crore. Most people move to tier 1 cities because major industries are located there. Bangalore's IT sector employs around 15 lakh people. Mumbai's film and finance industry employs 20 lakh plus, and Hyderabad's biotech and IT corridor provides jobs to about 7 lakh people. The problem is that while jobs are growing quickly, city infrastructure is not growing at the same speed. Roads, housing, water, transport, and public services fail to keep up, putting huge pressure on these cities. City like Delhi is controlled by many different bodies at the same time: MCD, DDA, DJB, PWD, DMRC, Transport Department, Traffic Police, Delhi government ministries, and even central government agencies. With so many authorities handling different parts of the city, responsibilities often overlap and coordination breaks down. For example, PW repairs a road, and the very next week, DJB, that is Delhi Jal Board, digs it up again to fix an underground water pipeline. The result is waste, delays, and constant disruption. In Bangalore, lakes that were originally built as interconnected water tanks has been blocked by tech parks, malls, and apartment complexes such as Balandur and Vartur. In Chennai, the Palikarnai marshland, once spread across 6,000 hectares, has shrunk to just 600 hectares, now surrounded by IT parks and garbage dumping grounds. In Mumbai, the Mithi River was narrowed due to construction and airport expansion, which has made flooding worse during monsoon. Cities tend to give faster approval to luxury apartments, commercial towers, and malls. Meanwhile, affordable housing, green spaces, and public utilities are pushed aside. For example, Bangalore added over 1.2 crore square feet of commercial office space in 2022 alone, but the city's water supply remained almost the same, focused on profit, not sustainability. Much of the core infrastructure in Indian metros was built between 1970s and 1990s. Mumbai's drainage system is more than 100 years old, designed to handle only 25 millimeter of rain per hour, not the 100 plus millimeter per hour rainfall we see today. In Delhi, around 45% of treated water leaks out of the pipelines before it reaches homes. Kolkata's tram system, once the backbone of public transport, it is now largely non-functional. Between 2010 and 2023, Delhi added over 1 crore vehicles. Bangalore added 70 lakh and Chennai crossed 60 lakh vehicles. Public transport did expand through projects like Delhi Metro, Namma Metro, and Hyderabad Metro. However, the growth of private vehicles far outpaced public transport development, leading to severe traffic congestion. Cities like Coimbatore, Indore, Nagpur, and Surat have strong potential but lack large-scale infrastructure such as tech parks, research centers, metro networks, well-connected airports, and industrial corridors. Because of this gap, migration keeps concentrating in a few big metros, creating extreme pressure on tier 1 cities instead of spreading growth more evenly across the country. Fixing our cities does not require miracles, it requires intent, planning, and consistency. Many solutions already exist and some are already working in parts of India. The question is how fast and how seriously we choose to act. Decentralization is key. Government initiatives like Smart City Mission, Amrit, and industrial corridors can turn cities like Jaipur, Indore, Vijayawada, Kochi, and Lucknow into major hubs, reducing pressure on tier 1 cities. Delhi Metro already spans 392 km and continues expansion can reduce car dependency. Bangalore's upcoming double-decker flyover and metro line between Silk Board and KR is expected to reduce traffic on the outer ring road by about 20 to 30%. Hyderabad's metro expansion to the airport can ease congestion significantly. Cities need a more supportive housing system, faster approval processes so projects don't get stuck for years, more public rental housing, and redevelopment of slum areas with modern facilities. We also need to promote missing middle housing options that are affordable for working families, along with government-led low-cost rental units built close to major job centers. Ecosystem restoration is already showing results in many Indian cities. The Sabarmati Riverfront project transformed a neglected stretch of Ahmedabad into a vibrant public space. Bangalore's Jakur Lake was revived through a wastewater-fed wetland model that improved water quality and biodiversity. And in Chennai, Miyawaki forests have grown rapidly, now crossing 30 lakh trees, showing how dense native plantations can rebuild green cover even in urban areas. Upgrading water and drainage infrastructure is key to making cities more resilient. Hyderabad has started rolling out smart water meters to monitor and manage consumption efficiently. Bangalore has enforced rainwater harvesting to recharge groundwater and reduce dependency on external sources. Modern drainage systems are being designed to handle heavy rainfall of 100 to 120 mm per hour, preventing floods. At the same time, extension of sewage treatment plants is helping clean polluted rivers like the Yamuna in Delhi and the Methi in Mumbai, improving urban water quality and public health. Cities can make use of modern technology to manage urban challenge more efficiently. AI-based traffic monitoring can help reduce congestion, while waste management sensors improve collection efficiency. Air quality dashboards provide real-time pollution data, and flood prediction models prepare cities for extreme rainfall events. Digital building approval systems can speed up construction projects and reduce delays. Indoors, success in cleanliness is a strong example, where integrated waste management combined with strict enforcement has transformed the city's hygiene standards. Safe footpaths, bicycle lanes, green boulevards, shade trees, benches, drinking water points, open spaces, public toilets, these directly improve the quality of life. India's tier 1 cities represent ambition, innovation, and opportunity, but today they are at a turning point. Decades of unplanned growth, climate pressure, and outdated infrastructure have pushed them into a crisis. The future will depend on whether India chooses reactive fixes or bold long term planning, whether we continue expanding concrete or restore nature, whether we centralize opportunity in 6 metros or build a network of thriving cities across India. India's urban story is still being written. How we shape our cities now will determine how we live 10 years from today, 50 years from today, and beyond. If you found this video useful, please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and it motivates me to bring you more honest and meaningful stories.